Cats on the Run, written by Ged Gillmore, narrated by Deborah Wiseman. Warning! This is the story of some cats I know and the frankly horrible things that happened to them last year. How they got what they thought they wanted and how it nearly killed them. But before I begin this story, I need to confirm you're up to hearing the ghastly events it contains. Are you tough enough? Are you rough enough? Are you downright gruff enough? If not, I recommend you put this book down right now and go back to your colouring in, you big baby. Continue only if you are up for a big action drama, BAD book. It's rough, tough, and ain't got no fluff. Are you down with that? Are you up for it? Have you looked left and right? Okay, here we go. The first bit. Once upon a time there were two cats, and their names were Tuck and Ginger. Ginger was a ginger cat. Surprise! She had thick, striped fur, 6 bellies, and could say meow in 7 languages. She'd been around the block a few times, Ginger had, and she didn't mind telling you about it. For example, you might be picking your nose when you thought no one was looking, and Ginger, appearing from nowhere, would tell you about a boy she once knew in New York who picked his nose so hard his brain came out on the end of his finger. Or you might say that you just got back from Tibet. Pah, Ginger would say. Tibet? Bah, it's all cheap sheep and chirpy Sherpas. She was so well-travelled, you see, so experienced, so been there, done that not a lot impressed her. Not that Ginger showed off. Oh, baloney, no. She didn't think she was superior for having had such a varied and, as you learn, hard life. But she didn't hide it either. Ginger didn't often go skydiving these days, but everyone knew she could do it. Now Tuck couldn't be any more different. This, as you'll find out, is both a good and a bad thing. Most things are both good and bad. Have you noticed that? What's the nastiest thing in the world, for example? Personally, I'd say poo is probably the most horrible thing in the world. But hey, if there was no poo, then all the food you'd ever eaten would still be inside your body, sitting there gassy and rotting and washing about your insides. You'd look like a politician. Anywho, Tuck was a very different cat from Ginger. Firstly, he was born in a refugee camp, which has no direct bearing on this story, but is interesting because it was a refugee camp built for dogs. Tuck grew up in a little cat cage in the cat room, which the camp management had been forced to set up for the cat refugees who kept arriving. For the first year of his life, Tuck knew nothing of the outside world. All he heard, morning, noon and night, was the howling of abandoned dogs. Is there a lonelier or sadder sound in the world? Here's a clue. No. Now, whether it was this strange upbringing that sent Tuck slightly loop-the-loop or some other factor, we will never know. The point is that Tuck was a little, how shall I put it? Well, you decide. Tuck was the kind of cat who would interrupt a conversation to ask how much a broom costs. Or he might tell you that Santa doesn't employ fairies because fairies don't exist. Tuck had 4 different favourite colours. He believed in ghosts and liked to talk to them in the litter tray. You get the picture? He was one crazy cat. But Tuck was also a real athlete. You might call him a lean, mean fighting machine, except he mostly lacked the courage to fight anyone but Ginger. Unlike Ginger, Tuck had no fat on him at all. When he was chasing string, you could see the muscles ripple under his coat, and his belly was as firm as a brand new tennis ball. Tuck was black as a panther. His fur, nose, whiskers, the pads on the bottom of his feet, and even his claws were all pitch black. Naturally, this was something of which Tuck was very proud. The only things about Tuck that weren't black were his razor-sharp teeth.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?